Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I signed up for the chase on a dare. A few too many pints at the pub, one dodgy online application, and 3 weeks later I was standing under the blinding studio lights next to 3 strangers, trying to remember my own name. But the real shock wasn't the cameras, the towering question board, or even the chaser glaring at me from the other end of the stage. It was Bradley Walsh. Let me explain. You see Bradley on TV, and he's all laughs, dad jokes, cheeky smirks, that charming twinkle in his eye like he's always 5 seconds from losing it during a fart joke. That's who I expected. The warm-up act, maybe. A wink and a "here we go then" before the game began. But backstage, different story. It started subtle. He appeared out of nowhere, dressed in a perfectly pressed navy suit, sipping something suspiciously green from a glass tumbler. He looked at me, blinked once, and said, "Hope you've done your homework. She doesn't like amateurs." Then he vanished behind a curtain before I could ask who she was. On stage, he was professional, too professional. No jokes, no giggles, just a cold, calculating calm, like a man playing chess 4 moves ahead. "Let's meet the first contestant," he said. Not a smile in sight. I stepped forward. "Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm a data analyst from Norwich." "Ellie," Bradley said slowly, like tasting my name for poison. "Let's see if your numbers help you now." Okay, weird, but I brushed it off. Then came the cash builder. I nailed £8,000, solid. But instead of his usual "well done," Bradley gave a tight nod and said, "Impressive. She'll like that." Again with she. Who was she? Then the chaser entered. The lights dimmed, smoke curled at the base of the stairs, and out came the governess, towering and expressionless. But something was off. She didn't look at me, she stared straight at Bradley. And he gave her the smallest, almost imperceptible nod. That's when I realized something else was going on. Every question I answered right, Bradley's eyes flicked, first to the chaser, then to the ceiling, like watching something no one else could see. By my 4th correct answer, the studio went dead silent. No crew movement, no buzzing, just Bradley, watching, smiling, but not with his mouth, with his eyes, in a way that made my spine feel colder than it should have. I reached the final step. 1 more right answer, and I was home with £8,000. The question popped up. Which Roman god is associated with doors, transitions, and time? Easy. Janus. But before I could press, I heard him, quiet, right behind me. "Be careful," he whispered, lips barely moving. "Some doors don't open both ways." I turned. He wasn't there. The buzzer sounded. I blinked. The governess got it wrong. I was through. But something had changed. When I returned to my seat, the others looked distant, pale, as if they'd been sitting in the dark for hours. And Bradley? He clapped, smiled wide, and said, "Ellie, welcome back, but remember, you never really leave the chase." Everyone laughed, even me, nervously. The show went on. But here's the thing. It hasn't stopped. That night, my telly wouldn't turn off. It played reruns of the chase on loop, even when unplugged. Bradley's face kept glitching on screen, staring, silent. And now, every door in my flat creaks open at exactly 5:15 p.m., the same time I answered that last question. So, if you ever find yourself on the chase, here's my advice. Bradley Walsh is not who you think. Not really a host. More like a gatekeeper. And once you step onto that stage, you're already through the door.